it's Luann Pygott. Welcome to my house and my crazy eyes. Yes, I did this makeup live earlier with the crazy bright colors. Look. Just for fun. But guess what we're going to do now? We are going to decorate my Christmas tree. This is an artificial tree. I love having a real tree. I normally have a real tree, but since I've had cats the last couple of years, I have not been doing a real tree because the cats love real trees too. So I'm not doing that. So I am decorating this tree. It's called a pencil tree. It's called a pencil tree because even though it is 6 feet tall, it's real skinny. So it fits in this corner perfectly. It doesn't take up too much room in my apartment. I have some teacups back here. And I have a little decorative shelf thing there. I just leave those there. I'm not going to take everything off the wall. So I'm going to decorate my tree, and I'm going to do it the same as I did last year, although I did buy a few ornaments and a few new things for it this year. One of them is this. Last year I just put a gold star on top. Now the tree that I'm going to do, and I just love to do this, is all red. I love to pick a theme, whether it's 1 or 2 colors, and go with the theme. And I got this. You want to see why I got this star? Watch this star. Red lights. I actually saw this last year. I wanted to get it last year, but I didn't spend the money on it. And then this year, it is a pencil tree. Yep, it's called a pencil tree. Exactly what it is. So it doesn't take up as much room. I got this at Walmart, by the way. I was going to get it last year. I went to get it last year after Christmas. They did not have it. Timer is off, and it has a timer. Really? What's the timer do? It just goes off at a certain time, I assume. 3-function switch, on, off, or 6 hours on, 18 hours off. Well, isn't that interesting? Well, I have it plugged into lights I'll turn off and on myself, so I probably won't use the timer, but that's really cool. I mean, it would work if it worked for all the lights and not just the star. Okay, so let's pull this, get my star out of here. Now, I do have a sneaking suspicion this star is going to be way too heavy for this pencil tree. But let's see what it does and see what I need to do to fix it. But I went back after Christmas to buy this last year, and they were out. So I'm like, well, darn, I didn't get my red star. This year they had it again. I'm like, all right, I'm paying full price. It was like $12, so it wasn't too crazy. I mean, if this is all you get, uh-oh, I'm losing it. Losing it. Everything else is from the Dollar Tree. I'm sitting down here. Hold on. This whole case is not wanting me to let go. Okay, it is wired into this little tester. That's the issue. Okay, let me unplug it from the tester. Then let me... Oh, you know what this is? I didn't realize this. This has got to be a battery-operated thing. I thought this was you plugged it in. No, it's got a box. Look at this. Okay. On. Well, I'm going to have to put batteries in this? Oh my goodness. I didn't know this was going to be this much trouble. I thought you could just plug it in, like regular plugged in. I see why it has a timer now. It uses 3 AA batteries. Well, goody. Well, I'm going to have to drum those up. Well, I'd have gotten them ahead of time had I known, which I didn't know. So let me just put this up here. Seriously thought this would have just a regular plug. Oh well. Alright, so let's see if we can get this. I will tell you that makes these LED lights make it where it's not that heavy, so maybe I can work with it. Let's see what we got. So we will use this timer after all. Since that's kind of all we have. Let's put this up here. I think what I'm going to do is bend this in half, because otherwise my star is like a mile high. Plus this makes this a lot firmer, maybe. Kind of going a little crazy here. I don't know if it makes it firm enough. Look at it. Yes, what I thought you were going to do, you crazy thing. Doesn't want to stand up. It's just too big. Okay, let's bend it a little further and see if that'll help. Okay, hold on here. Alright, that might work right there. Then I'm just going to lay this box right here for now. Until I can find some batteries. And that is going to be the top of the tree. Let me see. Up, you can sort of see. Huh. I don't know why. I just never even realized that wasn't a regular plug. I've never had one that wasn't a regular plug. Alright, so I have my tree actually sitting on a box. So it's taller than... It's actually 7 feet tall, just about, instead of 6. but I wanted it taller, so there we go. So I had to get some new lights this year because last year it doesn't have batteries. No, they gave me an empty thing with no batteries. Wouldn't that be nice if they had given batteries? All they did so you could test it is they had it hooked to this little tester thing. So no batteries. But I do have some batteries. I just got to dig for them somewhere. But see, I thought I was getting like that, you know. No. I didn't really want a battery operated one, but that's all right. And that's the only one I saw that was red. Okay, so let me get out these lights. I bought some new red lights. Because last year, I got out all my other red lights and found out only like half the strand worked. That was fun. So I went to Walmart, because they're not terribly expensive. Bought some new red LED lights. These don't get hot. So here we go. These are some long strands. I don't even know how many of these I'm going to need. So I'll put lights on first. So let's put these on. Ow, I'm stepping on a cat toy. Hold on. Let me move the cat toy. Let me plug them in down here. I have like a power strip down here. And then I can just turn off and on the power strip. See, that's what I thought I would do with that star, too. You know, they would just all be hooked to the power strip. But no. No, it has to be different. Alright, come on. It unplugged itself. Just a moment. I love to go ahead and plug in the lights. First of all, to make sure they work. Second of all, because then it's pretty to decorate the tree with the lights already on, I think. Look at that. Oh, I don't know if you can even see that they're on with my light. Here, let's see. Now you can. They're on. So, with having the cats, I don't do a real tree now because I think that'd be too tempting for them. And, let me get this cord out of the way. I have all kind of ornaments, stuff from my childhood and stuff. Yeah, I'm not putting that out for them. So, I went to the Dollar Tree last year and just bought all Dollar Tree stuff to put on my tree. And I'm perfectly happy with it. Because it's nothing that I'm so attached to that if the cats get into it, that it's not going to hurt anything. It's $1. So that's what I'm doing. And this star, I'm probably going to have to I'm going to have to redo it anyway because I'm shaking the tree. So I learned this trick one time. Instead of going around and around and around and around and around with the lights, if you go up and down, it's a lot easier. A lot easier. So just like, you know, up, down, up, down, up. One of my aunts showed me this one day. She has like 5 or 6 trees she puts up in her house. And she's like, did you know? She learned it somewhere. Did you can go up and down instead of around and around with your lights? I'm like, no. You can? And it's a little easier. Instead of just wrap. It's easier to take off too. You just kind of pull them and they unzip. You go up and down. And I've kind of been doing that ever since. I think it's easier. Okay. There we go. We're just going to have this mysterious black box up here in the tree. I'll have to hide that once I get the batteries. And it takes a tinky winky little screwdriver too. So not only do I have to find the batteries, I'm going to find a little screwdriver. Had I opened it before I started this, I could have had that all done, but I was expecting a plug. I had no idea they even made them like this. Okay, there's strand number 1. So what did I get? I got about 4 or 5 of these new ones. All right, here we go. And like I said, I love to pick a color. I think a blue tree would be really pretty too. My grandmother, she always had 2 trees in her house. One was her main tree that she had, and they called it the recreation room. Because when they bought that house, it was the early 1960s, and they didn't have something called a family room, but that's really what it was. And they called it the recreation room. I don't know who came up with that name. But she kept her tree in there, but then she had a Florida room. We're in Florida, you know, we have Florida rooms. What's a Florida room? Do you even know what a Florida room is? If you're not in Florida, you probably don't even know what a Florida room is. A Florida room is a room with a bunch of windows. In the olden days, before air conditioning, yeah, people lived in Florida before air conditioning. In the olden days, they would have what was similar to a porch with a lot of windows and screens that they could open it up and get a lot of breezes, and they would go sit there when it was really hot. And because they really only had them in Florida, because if you had them in other states, you would freeze, they called them Florida room. So she had a Florida room, and it faced the river, and it had like all, one whole wall was all windows. But she would have this little tree in the Florida room. Just think sort of indoorish porch is what it is. It's like a sunroom. Yep, it would be like a sunroom. So, since these are old terms, I don't think they even have rooms like this in Florida now because we all have air conditioning. But she had a little tree in there. It was a 3-foot tree, so it wasn't very big. But it was a big fat tree, but it wasn't very tall. And it was white. And she always decorated it every year in all red everything. It had red lights. It had red ornaments. And then she would cover it completely in tulle. Like the stuff they make for bridal veils. It may even have been pink tulle. But she would cover it. It looked pink with the lights either way. She would cover the whole thing, just wrap it in tulle. So it kind of looked like a snowish tree. Like it kind of looked like snow, only red. And it was so pretty in that room. It just had this beautiful pink glow, this red glow from the lights and that tulle. She did that every year. And when all the lights were off in there, you could walk through that house and just see that red tree glowing in there. Oh, it was so pretty. It was my favorite. And I always wanted a red tree, even though mine isn't white. I could have gotten a white one. I didn't copy it that exact. And I don't wrap it in tulle, although I could. But doing an all red tree always makes me think of Grandma's red tree that she kept in the Florida room. So in the room that they had, that was a really big house. My grandparents had 7 children. When they all grew up and had families of their own, they wanted a place, my grandparents did, to have everybody over to eat. And it got to be where there were like 30, 35 of us. We couldn't fit in a regular house. So they bought this house on the river that had that extra big room they called the recreation room. And it had a bar in it. I mean like a regular bar with stools, like a huge horseshoe-shaped bar in the room. And it had a sink behind it. A working sink and a counter that you could go back there and make drinks. The funny thing about it is my grandparents rather, they did not drink a lick of alcohol. You got a Sun Family a white Christmas tree. Oh, they're so pretty. Oh, for a gift. That's so sweet. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a white tree as well. Right now I've only got the one. I think, just patrolling the one with the cats here is plenty. I don't want another one right now. Maybe at some point. We'll see how interested they are in it this year. Now, I've had it sitting up naked like this for a week. They have not even batted an eye. They have not looked at it. They have not sniffed it. They have done nothing. And I thought, yeah, they're just waiting. They're waiting for me to get it there. But we'll see. But I'm surprised because I thought they would be like, oh, something, because they always something new. They got to check it out. They have not paid a bit of attention to it. But my grandparents, they never drank a lick of alcohol. They never had any in the house. But they had this huge bar in the house. So what we did is we used that as a really high buffet counter. So we would all make stuff for holidays. Everybody would have their specialty dishes. And we would line that whole bar with food. It was a little high, but we used it. And then we would all go get in line. Where I forgot where my end is. Here's my end. And then we would all go get in line and get our plates. And then she would set up all the tables and folding chairs. And she had these old wooden folding chairs. They were nice folding chairs. Kind of wooden slats. If you're from the olden days, you probably have seen those. Alright, I'm going to see if I can get this. I got to unwrap it a little better. See if I can get this back here. So last year, I was making do with lights that only half the strand worked. And I didn't want to do that again. Because the one thing about the tree, I love a whole bunch of lights. And I had so many, and I didn't know it, because the year before they worked. And all of a sudden last year, half of every strand of lights I had that was red all quit working. And I'm like, what did they get? Did they have a meeting and say, let's all half quit working? How on earth did they all do that the same year? I don't know, but they did. And I'm like, seriously? I had like 3 or 4 strands of red lights, and only half of each one of them worked. I'm like, you all planned this, you all lights. So it's all I had, and I didn't want to go to the store. Like, I didn't want to. I was in the mood to decorate. I was ready to go. I had it all out, and it was probably in the middle of the night, you know, because I'm a night owl. So it was probably 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, well, I don't want to stop. This is when I planned to do it, and I'm not going to go, you know, there's no store I'm going to go to now. So I thought, I'm just going to have to use these lights because I don't want to go to the store now, and I don't want to wait till tomorrow. So I would put the half strand that worked, I would string it on the tree, and then I would wrap up and bundle up the broken half and just cram it in the middle of the tree. Like, you can't see it, it's dark. Right, it's dark. You can't see it. But I knew it was there. I got half of my lights are dark and hidden in the middle of the tree in a big ball. So this year I said, yeah, I gotta buy lights this year. And I did go, I love to buy Christmas stuff after Christmas, because, you know, it's all half price. But they didn't have red lights. They were out. They've got now, I think, where they put stuff on sale sooner than after Christmas. And all the good stuff gets wiped out. So I did not have any red lights from last year. So this year I was like, you know, it's not that bad. It's just Walmart. Not that expensive. And it's not that big a tree. So I got all the red lights I needed as soon as they put them out. So I would make sure I got red. Because you can always get the white and the colored, and usually the colored ones too. But you can definitely always get the white ones. But I wanted red, and sometimes a specialty color is a little harder to find. Okay, so here we are. That took like 3 strands of lights. I think that's pretty good. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Zigzagging. If you haven't tried putting lights on the tree that way, try doing that. I like it. So, let me look here real quick and see if I have batteries in here. I know I have a stash of batteries in here. I just don't know if I have double A's in this closet. Let me see what I do have. It's dark in here. Let me turn on my light. Oh, look. I think I have some. Are these double A or triple A? Oh, these are double A. Oh, good. All right. So here's some batteries. Now I can't close my closet. Hold on. What happened? What happened? Oh, I had something fall down the door. And it's determined to stay there. Oh, come on. I hate when something falls in the crack of the door. And I can't get it out. Alright, stay up there, please. Stay. Okay, so I do have the batteries. Just let me see if I can find the screwdriver. Yay! 6 foot with color. Oh, $39 for that? A 6 foot with color? That's an incredible price. Wow, where did you get that? Did you say where you got it? Christmas tree last year as a gift. $39? Wow. That's great. Okay, hold on. I know I have a screwdriver in here somewhere. Let me see if it's the right kind. Let me get up here. Back on the mountain top. I know I should do this, but, well, I guess I can pull it back down. Let's pull it back down. Because it's not attached to anything. Not like it's plugged in. Because it don't do that. It is kind of tangled with my lights. Okay, let's see what we can do. Ah! It doesn't like to stay in this stand. What time is it? It is 7:02 p.m. It's 5 in Alberta. Wow, lots of snow and it's dark. Do you know I have seen snow one time in my life? When I was 19. Only time I've ever seen snow. That would have been like 1980. So, the only person that has ever seen snow in my family was my mother, because she was born in South Bend, Indiana. And so she had grown up with snow till they moved here when she was 14. So my dad and my brother and my sister and I, we had never seen snow in our life. And so one day, ooh, there's a bad battery in here. Look at that. Sitting here in the package, and it's bad. Look. Ugh. I don't know if you can even see that. Can you see? Yeah, bad. It's all crusty. Ugh. Here, at that end. Look at that nasty battery. Bye-bye, battery. How do you sit there and go bad in the package? But we got, Dad said, let's go get in the car, kids. We're going on vacation. We drove to North Carolina, which isn't really even that much of a big, bad snow place. I said that, yep. You'll send me some. I won't last long. Oh, you got it at Walmart. Was that after Christmas you got it or before? That's such a good price. But my parents like to go to North Carolina. Let's see if this works. There it does. Okay. Timer. On, off. Okay, let's turn it off for now. Let me get this thing back on. Hope I didn't lose my little screw. Where'd it go? There it is. It's a tiny screw. Luckily, this is the right kind of screwdriver. I'm gonna make it work. So we got in the car and we went for a week's vacation in North Carolina. Luckily, it was after Christmas, right after Christmas. Luckily, it was snowing because, you know, sometimes it doesn't snow in North Carolina. So we were like, well, hopefully we'll get lucky and we'll find snow. They actually have a couple ski resorts up there where they like manufacture snow, which is not really the same thing. But it was like real snowing as well. Okay, I lost the bottom of it. Where'd it go? So we did go up there and it was just barely snowing. And we pulled off the side of the road like into a parking lot of some lumber yard or something. And we were like, oh, let's go look at the snow. So we got it, we touched it and everything. We'd never touched it before. And then we got back in the car and we said, these people that are here, they're going to think we're crazy. We just jumped out of the car and ran over and touched the snow and got back in the car. And Mom said, well, they'll look at our license plates when we leave and see it says Florida and they will understand. I'm like, yeah, they will still know we're crazy. But it got to, and see, it only got to like 17 degrees. When it gets put up, I'll send you a picture. Oh, yeah, do send me a picture. I'd love to see it. Okay, so I'm going to put this on timer. What time is it now? 7? So this will stay on until 1 o'clock in the morning and go off by itself. All right. That'll be fine. I can always change it and turn it back off and back on tomorrow if I want it to start at a different time, which I probably will. I'll probably start it. But it will just turn off after 6 hours. Here, let's look at it again. Still can't see it very well. Hold on. Ooh, now you can see my tree. Look at that glow. Ooh, look how pretty. How pretty light. It's a lot redder looking than it looks like on the video. The video makes it look really white. It actually looks completely red. It is pretty. It's Walmart. If you want red, it's Walmart. $11.98. That's how much it was. I said, I really didn't want to spend $12, but I really wanted it really bad. So I'm like, all right, I'm breaking down and getting it. I'm just doing it. $12. I wanted it last year. I didn't get it, so I'm getting it this year. Now I gotta hide the mystery box. Where am I gonna put that? Let's put it in the bag. Hopefully it doesn't fall. Okay, I wonder, with it being on 6 hours a day, I wonder if it will last till Christmas. We're gonna find out. If not, I do have some more batteries in there. Are you gonna stay, mystery black box? It's a little slippery, the box is. Okay, let's see. Trying to get it straight. I still don't know if it's going to stay straight because I'm not done banging on this tree. Okay, so now we have our lights. The next thing I did was a ribbon. So I had This is ribbon I used last year. It's from the Dollar Tree. I say I'm all into, since it's a, I don't care if the cats tear it up, it's from the Dollar Tree. It loses its appeal fast. The snow, I bet it does. But the coldest it got while we were there was only 17 degrees. Now 17 below zero, but 17 above zero, which is not that cold, but it was to us. And so we got to our hotel, and we're like, we want to go outside, because it was just barely snowing. We want to go outside, we want to go outside. So we all put on coats. Now, we actually had to go to North Carolina and buy coats there. And we bought gloves, and we bought, the hat, the cap hat, because, they don't sell those here. Because we don't wear them here. You can sometimes find a few, but not a lot. Like the real warm gloves and they don't sell real well here. So we said, we'll just shop in North Carolina. So we went and bought, I needed a new coat because I'd outgrown my old one. So we got nice warm stuff to wear. We all bundled up. We went outside. It was a kind of there was a little park there and stuff. So we went and walked around just for a few minutes. And then we said, my face is freezing. It is so cold. Let's go back in. So we got back in and Dad said, now I understand why nobody was outside walking around but us. It was icy cold on our cheeks. And we're like, okay, that was fun, but that was really cold. Let's stay inside. It was funny. But we did. We actually went to a place. We found a place that had an ice skating rink. None of us had ever been ice skating. Well, Mom had when she was a kid, I'm sure, but the rest of us, we hadn't been ice skating before. Roller skating, we knew roller skating, not ice skating. So I'm just kind of weaving this ribbon in and out, and it's real glittery, real red glittery. So we found an ice skating rink in the bottom of like a Hyatt hotel in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And they let you rent, ice skates. And so we went ice skating, and we found out that even though we were young, particularly my brother and I was 19, he was 14, that sets your ankles on fire if you are not used to it. My sister now, she was only 10. She put those things on and skated around like she had skated all her life. She hadn't. And we wanted to smack her down because I'm like, we were in pain. This is hurting. And we were teenagers. We weren't old. But no, it was hurting. And she was like, I don't know what's the matter with y'all. This is easy. And we were like, shut up. It hurts. My ankles are on fire. Well, if you had not been doing it, your ankles aren't strong enough, I guess. Even if you're young, your ankles aren't strong enough to take it. And they were not. But I will tell you, I did not fall. We did not fall. We skated. I could skate from one end of the rink to the other and grab for the rail. I never did fall. And it was fun. But it was a lot harder than I thought. I would not try it now. I guarantee you I'd be instantly down on the ground. Okay, there's one strand of ribbon. I love this because it really helps fill it in. And it really kind of makes it look like a designer tree. So I already had them cut into strips from last year. But see how it's like all glitter. It's real pretty. So it comes, in a roll, and then you just kind of cut it. So I just stick it in there and kind of weave it in and out. However you think looks pretty. There's no really exact way to do it. Sort of just make it look decorative. And see, that's a shorter piece. So I had different lengths to try to make it look different. And then here's this one here. And then you can adjust it later. This is all red. But when you have an artificial tree, they can be, you can just sort of see through them. And if you do this with a ribbon, it fills it in a lot. Helps fill in the gaps. But I think that was the only year that we ever said, let's go find snow. Because usually my parents took us on vacation before school started, even though I wasn't in school anymore by then. But in past times, we would go to North Carolina in August because we would go right before school started. and we'd go stay for a couple of weeks. But we were like, and we want to see snow. So that year, we went after Christmas, and we found some snow. Not a lot, never did snow a whole lot, but that was fine. We didn't need a lot. Just a little was good. Dad did drive us up to a ski resort that was there. And they had a whole lot of snow at that, and we looked at that, and we watched them skiing. And that was after we had been ice skating. And so we watched them for a few minutes. And, you know, we had never seen a ski resort, so we were watching them. And we kind of just wanted to go see the mountain. You know, let's go see the mountain of snow, even though they were manufacturing snow. But Dad said, do y'all want to go snow skiing? And we said, no. We don't even want to try it. No. So we watched them for a few minutes. And Dad's like, oh, I'll let y'all go snow skiing. No, Dad, ice skating was more than enough. It was plenty. That looks a whole lot harder than ice skating. So we didn't want to do it. So he's like, okay, well, we'll just watch these people. Yeah, we watched a lot of people falling down, and it was like, nope, nope. Those are people that could probably do it, and they're falling down. Nope. we don't want, that does not look fun. Now, had we lived in it and grew up in it, I'm sure we would have done it, but that was a big no. It was so funny. I guess we weren't all that adventurous. Okay, I got another strip here. Do I want to put it here, or do I want to put it back here? I think I'm going to put it, this one's actually coming apart. Look, it's got a stray, so I'm going to kind of hide that in the back. I'm going to hide you back over here. In the back and kind of in the bottom. I don't know if I have any more of that or not. Let's see. I should get more than, oh, I do have another piece. Good, I need another piece. I should probably get a variety, but I don't have it. That'll be something new I can do next year. Okay. I need to tuck this one in a little bit more. Oh, he just fell down. All right, come on, stay up there. He's not wanting to stay. Yeah, this piece here, with that piece that came loose, he's pretty lame. He's hiding though. Okay, one more piece. One more piece for this side over here. Put that up a little higher. And then I usually, this is my makeup table that I have this on right now, so I will then get to have my makeup table facing my tree. Through Christmas, I love doing that. It's such a pretty backdrop, my Christmas tree. But you see how this fills it in? Thank you for keeping me company while I decorate my tree. This one's actually coming apart at the bottom too, but it's way down there. Just gotta get this tucked into the branches better. I know that I'm exactly the best in the world at this. But I'll go back later, I think, and maybe tuck it different. But I want to see where I'm going to put all my ornaments right now. Then we'll figure that out. Okay, so here's a couple of things I got new. I got a bell, Dollar Tree. And I got a couple of these. And then I got a star. It's my star. So, let's put those in first. Those are new this year. I have some bells from last year too, but since they had a few, I thought I'm going to go ahead and get those. Let me get my bells from last year. So I'm trying to space them, you know, where they space apart. So that's a bell from last year. That is too. So let's try to put one there. So I'll try to put the big ones on first. There we go. Say it's not one. It's not wanting to go. Now normally with this little tree, I always used to just put littler ornaments on the little tree. Then I saw people doing these trees with bigger ornaments and like all sizes. I'm like, okay, that's really pretty. We are going to do the bigger ornaments on the tree because it fills it in so much better. Okay, there's that one. Okay, so let me get these. We'll get these two. These are kind of pretty. Let's put one there. Now these reflect the light pretty well because they got sparkles on them. Okay, let me get my box. I'm going to move my box over here because I'm going way over there to get my box. And look at this. This is so pretty. I think I got this one at Walmart. I have a couple of these I got at Walmart, but most of it's Dollar Tree. It's a sparkly pine cone. Isn't that pretty? So all of these I had from last year. But I really liked my tree last year, so. Oh, and then I have these. Ooh, big giant ones. All right, where are we going to put you? Let's put you. So it is supposed to be Tuesday. We're going to have a low of 47, I think. That is like freezing cold. It has not been in the 40s. I don't know that it got in the 40s at all last year. I don't think it did. I don't think it's been in the 40s for a couple of years. It's gotten to low 50s. I don't think it's gotten to 40s. And it's not even, well, that'll be December 1st. And it's going, if it doesn't change, you know, sometimes they tell us we're getting a cold front and it doesn't come. So if they don't change it, it is supposed to be 47 degrees is the low. That's not the high, that's the low. On Tuesday. Are we all gonna die? We're not used to that now. It's been so long since it's been cold. Few years. Okay, do I have any more? Yep, I got another pine cone. Pine cones are a little heavy. That one didn't have a string, so I had a hook on it. I like these. Aren't they pretty? I think I got these. I'm sure I got this one at Walmart. I don't think they have these at Dollar Tree. I'm hanging that one on the bottom. Cat's probably going to like that when it's dangling. I can just see that now. I'm going to go after that. I'm going to have these cool little jingle bells. All red. All red. And there's one of those. I'm trying to hang the like things together so I can kind of get them spaced. Hard to get them spaced when your branches aren't in the right space sometimes, though. And the good thing about the artificial trees, you don't have to remember to water it. I do really good watering a real tree for a couple weeks. Then I start forgetting. And then the water gets grungy. But I love a real tree. I like a Fraser for a tree. Which I guess I could do that with this, but let's say I just think the cats would be too tempted because they'd be like, it's a real tree. You love sparkle. The low tonight is 20. Yeah, I've only been, oh, thank you. I've only been in 20 degrees in North Carolina that year. It does get, the coldest it ever gets here would be like the high 20s. And that's only like once every 5 years or something. And that's like crazy cold. It rarely gets to freezing even. Might get to 32 every 2 years too. But if it drops into the 20s here, that's almost unheard of. It doesn't happen often. What else do I have in here? All right, let's go to my star. This is my other new one. Isn't that pretty? I love sparkle. They reflect the lights so well, these sparkly things. This one is just, that's all sequins, that star. All right, you stay there. He doesn't want to hang straight. But I also put out, I have these nifty little, like, one-of-a-kind things. Well, they're not one-of-a-kind. I just have one of each of them is what I meant. You can go get these at the Dollar Tree. But I have outside of my window that faces the parking area, I have a little angel. She was one I got at Walmart several years ago. She has all blue lights. And she's hanging in my window. And I put that up. Well, see, everybody outside can see that. Driving by the road. Parking in the parking area. Oh, this is a little Santa hat. Very cute. Alright, let's see. Where am I going to put you? Let's put you here. Not bad. Alright, let's see what else I have in here. Oh, I just love these. I think I got these at Walmart. They're little birds. They're cardinals. We have cardinals here. I don't know how far they go around if they're in Canada or not. I don't know where cardinals go, but then we definitely have them here. And they're red, so they're like a Christmas bird. They say cheep, 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 cheep. They just like that. That's how they cheep. That's because I got where I recognize several. Here's a different one. That one's from Walmart. He's on a little branch. He has a clip. He's easy to hang up because he has a clip. But I know I can hear cardinals. I know when I'm like, oh, there's a cardinal out there. I hear him cheeping. I love birds. I don't have an indoor bird. I don't want an indoor bird. They're messy. And they're actually too loud to be inside. Here's another one. But I love them outdoors. Let's see. I'm going to put you. I'm going to put you up here. There we go. No, that one's not going to work up there because I can't see it. I see the bottom part, I can't see the bird. He needs to be low. So let's put him here, maybe. It's like it's got a clip, and the clip is crooked. There, he works there. Oh look, I found another bill. I'll put you up here. I need something there. Like right there. Yep, that works. Let's see, here's another little of the other kind of bird. My grandmother loved cardinals. I don't know why, she just loved, I think she liked red. She had this collection of red glasses and like cups, you know, red cups. She loved those. She didn't have a lot of them, just a few deep, dark, ruby red glasses, like little water glasses. Okay, I'm going to put that one up there. I think birds belong in trees. Oh, this is another one with sequins. That one's cute. Let's see, where do we need something? How about like right there? It's an empty spot right there. Oh, this one was cute. Look at him. I don't know, was that supposed to be? I think it's a snowman. Sort of. I think I got that at Dollar Tree. If I'm not careful, I get to where I hang everything in the front. Because that's where I'm looking. There we go. There, everything's in the front. Oh, this one's cute. You've not seen any here? Oh, you have a pair of loud blue jays. Oh, I like blue jays. Yeah, we have those here too. Blue jays, our state bird is the mockingbird. Mockingbirds make all kinds of noises. They mock the other birds. That's why they call them mockingbirds. But they're neat. The mockingbirds, so you got to watch those. If they have babies in the nest, they'll take you down. They're not any bigger than blue jays. They're not a terribly big bird, but they are very protective of their nest. If you have a dog or a cat or something out in the yard that gets too near their nest, they go pick them on the head. The dog learns real fast not to go out there. Don't go sniff that baby bird on the ground. Don't do it. Don't do it. They dive bomb them. I remember one time years ago, I was on my way to work, and I was looking out my window, getting ready to go get in my car, and there had been a nest, a mockingbird nest, that had been right outside my kitchen window. And I had been watching them because it was just right at eye height. And so I looked out and I'm like, oh, the baby birds are gone. Oh, okay. Well, I guess they flew the nest, you know, they got out of the nest or whatever. Okay, so I guess they're grown now. Well, then I went to just about ready to go out the door and I looked out the window again and there was one on the ground. And I'm like, oh, the great horned owl. Oh, that's neat. But I saw this little baby bird, and you could tell the baby birds, because the baby birds are big, fat, fluffy things, because they haven't had any exercise. They've been sitting in the nest getting fat. So they're bigger than the parents, but they can't fly. So these big, fat things. And I saw him on the ground, and he hopped under my car. And I'm like, oh no. Now I'm not going to be able to go to work, because if I go out and get in my car, if I get near my car, because the parents were up on the roof, because I could see them up there. They were watching their baby. I could see them up there. I'm like, oh man, they're going to attack me. They're not going to let me near my car. What am I going to do? So I'm like, okay. Well, I can't. What am I going to call my boss? Sorry, I'm going to be late for work because there's a bird under my car. It's a baby bird under my car, and the parents are going to attack me. I didn't think that'd go over real well. And I was like, you're making that up. So I'm like, all right, I think I'm going to get an umbrella. I'm going to get an umbrella. And I'm going to put it over my head. And maybe I can get in the car before they pick me on the head. So I hunted up the umbrella, and by the time I found the umbrella, I looked out the window again, and the baby bird's hopping across the grass. And the parents are like escorting it. You know, they're kind of bombing the baby, trying to get the baby to take off. And they kind of, you know, escorted it out of the yard. I'm like, oh, good. I can go to my car. Oh, I'm like, oh, no. Attack birds at my car. I can't get in my car. I mean, they don't bother you if they don't think you're bothering their babies. But you get too close to the babies, they're coming. They're coming. My brother, when he was real little, went out in the yard where there was a mockingbird on the ground. He didn't know it, though. He was just outside. He happened to be outside, and he said, well, what is that over there on the ground? He couldn't tell what it was. He got a little closer, and he got pecked on the head. It was a mockingbird. And he came running in the house, my, a bird. He was probably 5, he was probably 6. My, bird pecked me on the head. You don't mess around with the mockingbirds. So I got these little bells. These are good. Now these I got at Walmart last year. This is my economy tree. And it's mostly, I wanted stuff that would not break if, you know, like shatterproof, if the cats knocked it off. That's what my aim was. Stuff that was, oh, this was Walmart too. Stuff that was not breakable with cats. So I got quite a lot of stuff for not a lot of money though, so. And it's all shiny and sparkly and new and red and looks great with the lights. It reflects. I love the stuff that reflects the lights. Okay, let's see what order we're in here. What is that? Okay, I've got a lot of picks in here too that I'm going to put in. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I have several of these. Now those actually have a little gold on them too. But most of it's all red. Got a few things with gold, so I'm going to hang a few of those around. There's kind of little filler ones. So this is like, some of it is really big, some of it is small, some of it is medium. You know, I think I always did pretty much stuff about the same size. Then I learned from watching other people that if you do a variety of sizes, it can be real interesting. Now I've lost a hook to this one. Let's see if I can find it. I'll put that one down. I'm really glad that red star. I'm glad I found some batteries. I'm glad that's working. I know I don't have as many back here behind it. Let me put some more in the back. There's that one. I keep hoping I find a stray hook in there. If not, I may just lay it in here somewhere. I need to step back and see. Do you see any missing spaces? know if we have a great horned owl here. I wonder if we do. I know we have owls. We have a burrowing owl. We have maybe some kind of a, is it a barn owl? Or I don't know. I know we have more than one kind of owl here. And I know I've seen them and I've heard them. There used to be one. I used to live in Lehigh, which is the same county that I'm in. It's just a few miles from here. But this is a little more trees and country there. And every morning I remember I'd wake up here and whoo, whoo, whoo. I'd hear this owl every morning. And I would go outside and start talking to him and he would talk back to me. I like to talk to birds. But I don't think that was a burrowing owl. I think that was whatever the other kind is we have here. But the great horned owl, I think that's a really big one, isn't it? I don't know if we have any that are that big. I'd have to look up, see what kind. Maybe something. Oh, under the Santa hat. Okay, the Santa. Here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I have this big one here, but it is empty under here. Let's see. I want it a little lower than that. Or let's pull the branch down. Nope. I want it in between. These hooks. These little hooks are crummy hooks. They bend. Okay, how's that? Ooh, let me step back over here and look. And put on my glasses. It's all a blur without my glasses. Let me see. Of course, I still have some more stuff to put in there. Oh, that's not too bad. Be a little bit more over there to the right of the Santa hat. Let's try there. Let's see what else I have. Well, if I get to these flowers, that'll fill it in too. Like there, maybe. Is that all I have? Oh, here's a hook. Here's a hook. That must be the hook for this other one. And it doesn't want to let go. It really doesn't. It's got a whole, I've got my old strands of lights in here and it's not going to let go. This is so much more fun doing this with company. Thank you all for coming to visit, all 5 of you. I never have 5 people here. Okay. If you were all here, I would make you some tea. I love tea. I want that there. I'm going to put other stuff here too, so. How about the bottom? Let's see where we're at the bottom here. This one is not showing. It's like hanging crooked. Let's try. Oh, there we go. Nope. Then the other one fell right in front of it. That didn't work at all. With the bag. I'm listening to Christmas music. I think I'm going to hang it back here in the back a little ways. Okay, there we go. Now, bang on my cup. Now I have all these little nifty things. I like these because they can fill in all kind of spots. And you just have to like lay them there. And they're red, so they go with my theme. These are all from the Dollar Tree. Just little picks, and they have little pine cones in them. Or some of them are just pine cones. That's all that one is pine cones. I love pine cones in Christmas trees. It just makes it look more like a natural tree. One year we got a Christmas tree when I was a kid, and I got some of these sparkly beads, or whatever those are, like little beads. We got a Christmas tree. We always got a real Christmas tree every year. And one year, well, we had like, it was an old house we lived in, and it had real high ceilings because they used to build real high ceilings back then. It had like 14-foot high ceilings, and so we would always get a 12-foot tree every year. And Mom would go and tell them, I want the tallest tree you have, and I'm only going to spend this much money, and that's it. And they would tell her, well, no, it's really this much money. And she would say, no, nope, that's okay, bye. And we'd get in the car and we'd leave. and we go look at a couple more places. And then she'd go back, because not everybody had a tall tree like that back then. And sometimes we'd go back the next day, or sometimes we'd go back a few hours later, and she would say, I'm back, and I want that tree, but I'm only going to spend this much money. And they go, okay. Every time. Every time she would get the price she wanted, because there weren't a lot of people with high ceilings in that time, because they just weren't building the cathedral ceilings then. And she would always, every year, she would say, that's all I'm going to spend, and they would tell her no, and then she'd leave. She's like a car salesman. She'd come back, and they would say, okay. Every time she got what she wanted, she paid what she wanted. Okay, so, but I love this, yeah, because it fills in. But this one tree we got one year, when Christmas was over, Mom always left the tree up to New Year's. And then she would take it down, and it wasn't time for them to pick up the trash at the road yet, so she didn't take it out to the road yet. She put it out on our front porch, which is just an open porch. We didn't even have screens on it anymore. It was just open. And so she set it out there, and things started sprouting pine cones after Christmas. And Mom was like, that tree thinks it's still alive. It's growing. So she left it out there for a while. That thing grew it grew pine cones and sprouted, all kind of stuff for about a month. And she's like, well, I can't bring myself to throw it away. It's growing. So she put it in a bucket of water and started giving it water for a little while. It did eventually start to die, but as long as it was growing, she's like, well, we'll just keep it out on the porch. It's growing. I'm like, oh, okay. So every once in a while we go outside. Let's go visit the tree. What's it doing? Oh, look, new pine cones. It was hilarious. The only one we ever had that did that. I just don't think it knew that it was not alive anymore. So it was doing everything it could to keep growing. It was a very inspirational tree. Very inspirational. Don't give up. Keep growing. And you'll be saved. Kind of was. Okay, look, I got these stray flowers. I don't know what they came on, but I think I'm just going to stick them in here somewhere. How's that? I got one more. I just got one more, and then I'm done. Where am I going to put this? In there. Okay. These came off of these somewhere. I just don't know which ones. So I think I'm just going to lay them in there. There's one. But you get this whole little tuft of flowers for $1. And it's pretty because they're poinsettias. They look like Christmas. Okay, what do you think? Here, let's do this. Hold on. Turn this off. There. Look. I love that red glow. See, I'll sit in here with just this on sometimes and just look at it. It's calming. It's soothing, so relaxing. Isn't that pretty? With just the red glow. And look at that star at the top. Oh, with that red. It is actually even redder than it's looking like on the video. It's all red. It doesn't show that white like it's showing. The whole thing is red. There is my pretty red tree. So neat. Okay, I am done. Oh, let me show you this real quick. Hold on, let me take this down. I just want to show you this. See this right here? This stocking that has my name on it. My mother crocheted this when I was a baby. And it still exists. It's a little different color down here because she ran out of the one yarn and it wasn't an exact match. But she keeps telling me, how about you let me crochet you a new one? Because I wasn't good at it yet and it's not very good. And the other kids are bigger and I can crochet you a new one. I'm like, no! I'm too sentimental. No, you're not making me a new one. I love that one. But isn't it neat? And see, it has this like fuzzy, and after all these years, good grief, this thing's 58 years old. It still has this fuzzy yarn that you had to buy the fuzzy yarn like that with the Santa beard, and it has a snowman on the back. Isn't it neat? And the jingle bells, look at these jingle bells still on there. I guess she made this because I was born 2 days after Christmas. So she must have crocheted it for like the next Christmas. But isn't it neat? And I still have it. And my brother and sister, they have theirs too, but theirs isn't as old as mine. Just thought that was neat. Alrighty. Here I am, me and my tree. So, yeah, it's a very neat keepsake. I really love it. You have a good night, Karen and Heather and everybody else watching. Thank you for watching me decorate my tree. I hope you got inspired to decorate your own tree. It'd be fun to do with any color theme, I think, but I just love red. I love red. So I'm going to go ahead and go, and you have a good night. Happy day after Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday. I hope you had a good Black Friday. I did because I didn't go anywhere. I did not go shopping. I stayed home. That made it a very good Black Friday. Fun, yes. So have a good night. Thank you. Bye.